Hello, today in this video we'll be talking about loops. And first of all, we're going to talk about the for loop. Okay, and in the for loop, this is how it looks like. You're gonna have for anything. It could be int, double, int I, in this case it's an int I equals 0, I is less than 5. It could be anything again. I could be less than 2, 3, or another variable. I plus plus, curly braces, some code, and then end curly braces. So this int I equals 0, this is called your initializing expression. Okay, this is like your default. Okay, right now I equals 0, like this is the number, right? I is less than 5. This is your control expression. This part lets you know, okay, you're gonna put something in here so that it doesn't loop forever, right? That's why it's called control expression. This part, your I plus plus, is your step expression. Are you gonna add 1? Are you gonna multiply I by 2? Are you gonna divide I by 2? Are you gonna subtract 1? Whatever it is, that's gonna give you like the pattern. And with loops, it's all pattern. You don't have to actually go through each loop because that takes a lot of time. If I were you, I just look at a pattern in the for loop and then get your answer really quick. Once you practice enough, you'll be able to look at these patterns more easily. So let's get an example. Let's say we had 4 int I equals 0, I less than 5, I plus plus, and then we're gonna do system dot out dot print a star. Okay, again, this is only one line of code, so we don't need to use the curly braces. And now we see what gets printed. So right now I equals 0. Is 0 less than 5? Yes. So we're gonna print a star. So right now we print a star. Now we add 1. So now I equals 1. Well, I'm gonna put here I equals, this is 0, and at 1, is 1 less than 5? Yes, we print another star. At 2, is 2 less than 5? Yes, so we print another star. Is 3 less than 5? Yes, we print another star. Is 4 less than 5? Yes, we print another star. Is 5 less than 5? No, 5 equals 5, so we stop the whole loop. So how many stars get printed? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 stars get printed. So your answer would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sometimes your answer choices will be like, okay, like what gets printed, and it'll be that. Or sometimes it'll be how many stars get printed in this for loop, and your answer would be 5. One quick way to solve this problem is that you can just subtract these numbers, and 5 minus 0 is 5, so your 5 stars are going to get printed. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, right? So 5 stars get printed. And once you practice more for loops, you'll get better at it. Now I'm going to go over scope, and scope is very important. Wow, that's a lot of people. Scope is very important. So if you make a variable inside a loop and you use or print that variable outside the loop, an error will occur. That variable is confined to the interior of the loop. So what it's trying to say is, if you make a variable inside the loop, you can only use that variable inside the loop. If you use that variable outside the loop, then you can't use it, an error will occur. So if you want to make changes to a variable, you better make that variable or initialize that variable outside of the for loop. So for example, we have 4 and I equals 3 and I is less than or equal to 79, I plus plus, then we'll say double D equals to 102.34, and then we're gonna print. So this part is inside the loop. This part is outside the loop. System dot out dot print ln d. You're gonna get an error because d is confined in the loop. And if I did system dot out dot print I, you're also gonna get another error because I is also in the loop. So to fix this, you should have moved double D equals to 102.34. You should have moved this outside of the loop, and then everything would be fine. Now I'm gonna go over nested loops. Let me just like make a little line. Nested loops. This just means a loop within a loop. Okay. So let's say we had 4 int j equals 0, j less than 5, j plus plus, and then curly braces, out dot print star, and then we're gonna make another for loop inside that for loop for int k equals 0 and k is less than 8, then k plus plus, and we're gonna print another star. And then we'll finish this for loop, right? And then we'll finish this for loop. Okay, so how do you get the answer? Okay, well, first of all, is 0 less than 5? Yes, so we print out a star. Now we go into this for loop. Is 0 less than 8? Yes, we print a star. So that's 2 stars. Then we go up 1. Is 1 less than 8? Yes, you print another star. It's 2 less than 8? Yes. Keep on going until you get 8. So this loop's gonna print 8 stars. Then once you're done with this loop, you go up back to this loop, you add 1. Now j equals 1, right? 1 is less than 5, so you print another star. Then you go into this loop, you print 7 more stars. Then you go back to this loop, you print a star. So every time you go up a j, you're gonna print 8 stars, right? So the quick way to do it is to multiply these last two numbers. 5 times 8 is 40. So 40 stars gets printed. Okay, if you want to do this by hand, go for it. I'm not, because it's gonna take forever. Don't put a semicolon after the parentheses of a for loop. The loop will only be executed once. So let's say, for example, you put 4 into k equals 0, k less than 8, k plus plus, and right here you put a semicolon, right? Then that loop would only be executed once, so it would only print 1 star, and that's it. Don't put a semicolon after the parentheses of for loop. Just do it the way you see it here. Let's see. The next ones, we have while loops and do while loops. It's actually not that hard. It's like the way you see it, I mean, it just makes sense. For example, just like do this. While control expression do some code and finish that. That's it. So let's say, I don't know, while I is less than 5, and then you put like, I don't know, I plus equals I, right? This means you're gonna add I to the new I. I mean, you're just gonna multiply by 2, and that'll be the new I, right? So let's say I was equal to 1. Is 1 less than 5? Yes. So now, what's 1 plus 1? 2. So now I is 2. Now, you're gonna go back to the loop. 2 less than 5? Yes. 2 plus 2 is 4. Then you, blah, 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 blah. For while loops are very simple. So are do while loops. Okay? So we have do, some code, while, control expression. Oops. Control expression. And then you put a semicolon. Notice the semicolon. You put a semicolon right after the while loop in a do while loop. In a do while loop, they always get executed at least once. Okay, so you do the do while loop once, even if the while loop, like, you're gonna know it's like the condition is false, right? You still do the do while loop once, like you do the code in it one time, and that's pretty much it. While loops, well, this is true, do this, and you keep on doing it. It's basically a for loop. And a do while loop is do this while this is true. Okay, yeah, they're pretty simple. You just need a lot more practice, and don't worry, in the beginning of the U.I.L computer science test, loops always gets tested, so you can practice a lot and it could get your speed faster by noticing patterns in the different types of loops. That's it.